My ancestors were whaling people. They fished with handheld harpoons in Moby Dick style. My grandfather, Albert Cook, heard from other whalers about the whales going past Tonga, migrating north and south. So he decided to go up to Tonga and find out what was going on up there. And there he met a beautiful island girl. He married her. And they had a large family. To mention a few, there was Ned, there was Walker, there was Henry, and my beloved mother, Josephine Matilda Cook. Josephine was sent to New Zealand every year for schooling. And on one of her trips to New Zealand, she met my father. They married, and in turn, they migrated to Tonga to join the rest of the whaling family. As a child, I would follow musicians all over the island, especially at Christmas time. They would get on the back of a truck and they would drive around from village to village, house to house, entertaining the people. And like a moth to a flame, I was drawn to these people. I just couldn't resist it. I couldn't keep away from them. Of course, you'd be away for 2 or 3 days, and when I get home, my mum would give me a real good belting, but that didn't stop me. My mother and father decided it was time for me to come to New Zealand for schooling. And being very poor people, they didn't have any money to pay for my fare. But somehow, my dad made a friend of the captain of an old merchant ship. So he decided to sign me and another friend of mine on the ship as pursers, assistant pursers. So that's how we got to New Zealand. We were amazed when we looked to the foreshores, all these people running everywhere like little ants, cars flashing by. And then we saw this huge, big vehicle come out. Later on, I learned it was a bus. I've never seen a bus before. But anyhow, this was the funniest thing when I came off that ship. When I came onto the wharf, I had an elder brother here. He was already here, you see. So when he saw me coming onto the wharf with my great big sombrero straw hat on and the big dungaree trousers too big, I think, for my grown-up man from somewhere, and he said, "Those clothes, they've got to go, boy." While I was at school in New Zealand, I heard this beautiful music played over the radios. You see, at Tonga, they didn't have radios in those days, but I heard it here in New Zealand. So I asked people, what is the sound? And they said, "It's Hawaiian music." But I said, "Yeah, I know." But he said, "What is that instrument?" They said, "It was a Hawaiian electric guitar." I listened. And I heard such great artists as Dick McIntyre, Lonnie McIntyre, Andy Iona, and of course, my hero, Saul Ho'opi, and so many others. When I left school, I took a job on at a radio factory, because I knew in a radio factory they have amplifiers and things like that. So the guys in the radio factory told me how to make a steel guitar. In fact, they helped me. We made one. Then, of course, we needed an amplifier. So we built an amplifier out of leftover parts from radios. Then, of course, I had the steel guitar, I had the amplifier, I had to learn it. So I listened to recordings by these artists, and then I would practice night and day and night. Even in my lunch hour, sometimes I rush home practicing the steel guitar. The war they fought in the Pacific brought island music to the world. Their radio stations were beaming regular broadcasts of Hawaiian music. And during some of these sessions, the voice of Dorothy Lamour could be clearly heard. I can just see her now, standing by the lagoon under a coconut tree, and that moon beaming down on that gorgeous figure wrapped in a sarong. Dorothy Lamour, When she sang that song, The Moon of Manakura, it just turned me on. It inspired me to practice more and more, hoping perhaps one day I may get a chance to meet her. Hawaiian music was very popular at the time when we were playing at dance halls. People in this country were saying, "Islanders, eh? Can you play Hawaiian music?" We love Hawaiian music. There's a lot of little islands in the Pacific, and they all have their own ways. Maybe the way the guitar is strummed or the movements of the feet. But you see, it's not just Hawaiian. The late Queen of Tonga, Queen Salote, she had been educated overseas and she learned music the Western way. You see, the Queen wrote many songs, beautiful songs, mostly about her people and her country. And although her songs were written in the language of the royalty, she would call the commoners into the palace to show them how she wants her songs performed.
No foi he televisione, hata he manatu, si whanga I he si, toa tua ki tau, mananga I he loto, moe whakakau-kau, masani e nofoni, koe tua e ngahau. No foi he televisione, hata he manatu, si whanga I he si, o tua ki tau, mananga I he loto, moe whakakau-kau, masani e nofoni, koe tua e ngahau.
I made my living in the dance halls. We had to be very, very versatile. We had some crazy dances in those days, such as hands, knees, boomsa daisy, statue waltzes, rumbas, tango, sambas, rock and roll. Whatever the public wanted, we gave it to them. If they wanted steak and eggs, we give them steak and eggs. We don't give them fish and chips. It's crazy to do something they don't want, but if you did, they won't be there next week. We played at the Orange Ballroom 18 and a half years, and we found the secret. You see, we had a very powerful shortwave radio, and we were listening to the American Armed Forces program being beamed across the Pacific. So we would hear these songs coming up the charts, and we would learn them and be playing them at the dance hall long before they get down to New Zealand. So by the time they came on the hit parade in New Zealand, the people at the dance hall were already singing the songs, and we taught it to them. I think it paid dividends.
Sway to the right. to the left, it's so easy to do. Come a little closer, my eyes are on you. Doing the kissing hula dance. Now bend your knees and sway down low. Give a naughty smile and come up slow. Don't be so shy, just let yourself go and do the kissing hula dance. Imitate the birds in motion and little fishes in the ocean. Caress me like the surf on the seashore. Just keep swaying, you know the score. Put your arms around me so. Whisper the words that I want to know. Don't be so shy, just let yourself go and do the kissing hula dance. And do the kissing hula dance.
I've worked with some great musicians in my time, but here, in this photograph, I have the greatest band of all. This guy, Mars Cook, on the saxophone. What a great sound we're getting from him. Whenever I am leading, you'll get in behind me and support me all the way. Freddie Kyle, great man to have in the band. He is now residing in Tonga. Probably Wynyard, rhythm guitarist, anything you like, any rhythm, any song, he could handle it. Behind him, Johnny Moore, our drummer. His foot pedal was terrific. It was like a metronome. The time was constant all the way. John Brookie, vocalist, very versatile, any type of song, beautiful. The next one, Malu Natap was Samoan. I'm going to sit down and tell you all about him. This is quite a story. You know, sometime during our life, we encounter things, little problems, mostly in dance bands. I've encountered this. You see, we were booked to go and play at Hawaii Beach, 100 miles east from here. We were almost ready to go when some of the fellas in the band decided to take a holiday. And here I was. All I had was a drummer and myself. So I was running around looking for musicians. Next thing, these two guys came up. Hugo Spearman, German Samoan, came up and he said, Mr. Sevesi, I hear you're looking for a musician. I said, yeah, I'm desperate. What can you play? He said, I play the ukulele. Oh, and what does your friend play? He plays the T-chest bass. Mamma mia, what am I going to do with these two guys for a dance band? I said, look, I'm looking for a pianist. Oh, he said, I'll go home and practice and I'll come back. So I said, you know the story, don't ring me, I'll ring you. yeah, okay. So he went away. And I was really trying very hard. I couldn't get anybody. Wouldn't believe it. These two guys rolled up in the last minute and they said to me, here we are. I said, who are you? He said, remember me? I'm the ukulele player. And I said, oh my God. He said, you're persistent, aren't you? I said, you said you could do the piano. And he said, yeah. He said, I practiced very hard. So I said, okay then, here's the piano. Give me a chord of C. He played me a chord of C. He said, give me a chord of F. He gave me a chord of F. I said, look, 2 chords are better than none. I said, you're hired. And bring your T-chest bass fella with you. In no time at all, the hall was full. There were hundreds more outside. So I used the microphone and I spoke to the people. I said, me and my band, we challenge all of you to a non-stop free-step polonaise for 1 hour tonight. So away we went. It's the first time in my life I've seen perspiration running off the walls. Well, poor Maru on the T-chest bass. His blisters burst, blood came out on the T-chest. I said, Maru, look at your hands. Go and put some plasters on it. And he said, no, I'm so bloody happy. Boom, 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 boom. He kept on going. Malu played in my band for many, many years. Since we closed the band down, Malu's been reluctant to talk to me. Somehow, I don't blame him at all. After 32 years, I decided to go back to where I was born, to look at so many beautiful things which I knew had always been there. On arrival, I went on to one of the little islands, and the first thing I did, I took off my shoes and socks, and I walked on the golden sand. Little waves were playing at my feet. I decided to go a little bit further. I got onto a little boat, and I drifted over the coral reefs, and I looked down beneath me, and there before my eyes, I saw a new world. I looked back at the island I just come from, and there I could see the swaying palm trees. Below the golden sand, the green leaves waving in the breeze and the brown trunks. And above that was the blue sky. And above it again, a little white cloud was drifting along. This has inspired me in many of the songs I have written about the islands. When I went back, I saw my uncles and my cousins. I knew they would eventually die, and their traditions would go with them. I wanted my family to see what our ancestors' life was like. So I made this film. Whaling was on the way out. Times were changing. There was this one boy, Sione Aleki. I heard about him playing the ukulele. He lived 16 miles way out in the bush. So I went out and saw Sione, and I asked him to play for me. He played a few numbers, and I said to him, "What are you doing playing underneath the coconut trees? You should be out there amongst the top." He said, "Oh, they all come and they hear me play, and they say, I'll do this and do that, and they never come back." So I said, "Sione, please play some more for me, and I'll try and ascertain as to what the problem may be." So he did. He played a bit more, and as he went on and on, I could see, boy, this was one holy mess. I said, "Sione, it's more like a circus than a band. 1 year. Just give me 1 year with you. I'm sure I can train you in that time and put you up in the world as #1.